Someone didn't show up prepared.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I was prepared to drink.
And that's the cold open.
Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Data Breaches, where we cover 5 of the most interesting data breaches of this last week and one of our favorite bourbons. I'm Steve.
Divya.
Paul.
John.
Howdy, I'm Shu.
Well, great. We took a quick break between episodes, and you can see why. We have a brand new office / sound studio. So this episode and all future episodes are sponsored by Tequila and Bar, who was kind enough to leave their posters everywhere in our new office. So we also have a new cast member, John. Everyone say hi to John.
Hello.
Hey, John.
Thanks
Welcome,
for having
John.
me.
Well, Divya, what happened this last week?
Okay, guys. So the first story of the evening, pretty hilarious, only because of the thumbnail, but
Starting with the picture,
so
That dude is well built.
that guy is really built, man.
Man, look at him.
He's almost like a manta ray.
He's also a victim of fraud, or wait,
he
no.
committed
Oh no, he was a
fraud.
criminal. This is fine. Okay. Anyway,
He did the fraud. He did the
all
fraud.
right. Let's move him off the screen. We're gonna get banned from YouTube. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, scroll down.
Ex-Canadian government employee pleads guilty over NetWalker ransom attacks. So a former Canadian government employee this week agreed to plead guilty in the US to charges related to his involvement with the NetWalker ransomware syndicate. He was extradited to the US, is accused of conspiracy to commit computer fraud and wire fraud, international damage to a protected computer, and transmitting a demand in relation to damaging a protected computer. He's a 34-year-old IT consultant. So what do you guys have to say about the story?
So NetWalker is a fairly well-known ransomware gang. They're not as prevalent as Conti, but obviously they've been around for a while. I think it's fascinating that you have a well-known gang, and then you have a government official that's either helping the gang or directly working for the gang. I don't know the exact details, but it goes to really question a lot about, if you believe that you can build like a hack-proof box or something that hackers can't get into. If your employees are actually helping hackers, then it sort of throws that all of that out the window.
Yeah. Wow. The dude was a government employee in a 15 eyes country, so not smart, dude. Not smart.
It sounded like he was himself transmitting ransoms, right? So
Yeah.
that implies that he was actually taking an active hand in deploying ransomware.
Yeah.
Well, he seems fairly young and he was very opportunistic. He saw the opportunity and he went for it, right?
Yep.
I mean, as a government employee, think of all the sensitive government systems you have access to.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It makes me wonder, we should go back and see all the ransoms from NetWalker and see how many of those are Canadian government sites. That would be fascinating.
That's a great point.
So he is actually suspected to be linked to at least 91 attacks since April 2020. So
Wow.
yeah.
I'm gonna do a little search in our database after this.
What are your thoughts on it?
I am just impressed as an IT consultant. Getting in that leverage on a government network indicates significant challenges that we could solve.
Well, that is fascinating. is he was an IT consultant. So potentially not even a salaried employee, but just a trusted third-party consultant. So
Right, you would think there would be some level of control, and 91 attacks is spread over a certain number of days. Like, you would think there'd be some eyes on glass there.
Guys, we're moving on to story number 2, and story number 2 it's really interesting. It's a little bit older, but it's really fascinating because Conti effectively created an extortion-oriented IT company, says Group IB. In slightly more than a month, the Conti ransomware collective compromised more than 40 companies worldwide, and the fastest attack took only 3 days. So what do you guys have to say about this? Like 3 days for a whole attack? Like, what's going on?
I don't really care about the time for attack. I think that the most eye-opening part of the story is the specialization of labor and services in the dark economy. The dark economy moves faster than all other industries. Ransomware gangs have been iterating on their business models at a rapid pace. There's zero barriers to innovation, to entry with ransomware. And now we're seeing specialization. So not only is ransomware the hot new way of making money in the dark economy, but now Conti's so good at it that they're just offering ransom IT as a service. And so they're a service company now. They're like the IBM Global Business Services of ransoms.
I wonder how you get official PM license to do that. Like, I'm your project manager. How can I help you today?
They hire project managers. If you look at the internal documents, they hire HR, they hire like recruiting, they have quotas for salespeople. The salespeople are committing ransoms, but still, like, these are real companies. And in certain nations and certain parts of the world, this is still not a crime. So there are people that could be clocking in and out 9 to 5 at a legitimate business that just happens to be a ransomware company.
This is one of many stories we've seen already where Conti is pretty much run like a professional businesses. All those things you said, quotas, reporting structure. Yeah, this is no joke. They're pretty efficient in what they do.
So they're making the transition that IBM did in the 90s from an IT or from like a computer company to a services company. They're like, oh no, we don't do ransoms ourselves. We just support and provide service to other ransomware groups. Like we want to be the underlying service layer.
Yeah, we just enable it, and we show you how to operationalize it so you can make a fortune. We'll make a fortune. Thank you.
Yes.
What do you think their company values look like?
Do you think that they have like team-wide stand-ups?
Yes.
with like,
And they have president. They have president's club.
yeah.
Do they get official holidays?
Holidays, they have all hands, they have all hand meetings.
Do they all
where-
fly to like
Yeah.
Bermuda if they make the president's club?
No.
Like,
Guys, you brought up holidays. I do want to share something that they said, and it's like most likely the group members are located in different time zones. Okay, whatever. But the schedule shows their high efficiency. On average, Conti works 14 hours a day without holidays, even New Year's and all that. So trust me, they're not having holidays.
well,
Holidays.
obviously it's time for a Conti workers union.
Yes.
The Conti labor union strike.
Because they know that they have a lot of clout because they're making so much money for the organization.
Yeah.
They
14-hour
deserve to be
days.
recognized.
14-hour days and no holidays. I mean, that sounds like a consultant for the big three auditing firms.
Correct.
PricewaterhouseCoopers, Conti. What's the difference?
It sounds like Goldman Sachs. So it sounds like if you're entry level analyst,
Yep.
weekends, what are those? Get back to work.
Yeah, it's the vampire squid.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know plenty of people work there. Hey, Darko, hope you're doing well, man.
Hey, who has better benefits, Conti or Goldman?
Or Goldman, exactly. Yeah, and
I
who
know
has
who
a
I'd
better,
work for if I had a choice.
and who has a better incentive comp plan? Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, guys, do we have any last comments?
I mean, this story is more important than people realize.
Yeah.
The people think that the dark economy doesn't move, but in the last 2 years, we've had ransomware come out of nowhere, right? Then we've had ransomware as a service. Then we've had ransomware with shaming sites leaking data if you don't pay. Like they're slowly boiling the frog, and they're doing it by iterating and iterating on their business model. If you are not expecting the next version of ransomware, like you're gonna get caught.
yeah, and Steve, back to the volume. First quarter of this year, double the volume of all of last year. Holy moly, it's super lucrative for them.
Well, and the incentives are, if you're an IT professional, you have to be right every time. They just have to be lucky one time. They break in once. You have to protect everyone. They get paid millions. You're lucky if you get a few 100,000. Right?
Correct.
So, you know, the working conditions of Conti aside, the monetary incentives mean that economically the supply and demand is completely out of whack, and everyone's going to be going after like ransomware, and there's going to be more and more of it because they can make millions, whereas defense is paid in thousands.
Correct.
So it's time for the bourbon break. And today we have Clyde Mays 6-year single barrel straight bourbon whiskey. This is a single barrel select bourbon. I got this from Total Wines and More. I don't know how much of this is actual marketing or real, but they have a warehouse number, which has way too many numbers in it. There's like 12 numbers and letters in this.
Oh my God.
They have a floor rick. They have a barrel number, bottle date, barrel date. Anyway, there's a lot of details, including like barrel social security numbers on here from Clyde Mays. So we're going to do a tasting of this, but Divya, what do you know about Clyde here?
So for the bourbon this week, you guys, I have Clyde Mays Straight Bourbon 102 proof, 6-year barrel select. That's a mouthful, but it's from Alabama. It says this limited.
No. Indiana.
Okay. But this limited edition single barrel straight bourbon has a distinctive border mash bill than our premium smooth straight bourbon whiskey, consisting of 75% corn, 21% rye, and 4% barley. Each barrel is bottled one at a time. And
Oh yeah.
so
Shenanigans.
this is their website.
It's all shenanigans.
Okay. We're going to the Whiskey Wash, and they give it a 1-star, and you know, they said that the distributors of Clyde May whiskey spin a good yarn. Brand bears the name of Alabama's most notorious bootlegger. Okay.
Even though it's from Indiana.
And it says that on the bottle. But person said, I don't have major issues with the actual juice. This is solid, if not particularly unique bourbon on its own. And it seems like it might play well in a cocktail, but the marketing left an off lingering in my mouth.
So
what do you have to say about this?
It might play well in a cocktail. Oh my God.
So Shu, you said something interesting. You said that the Total Wine like barrel select was
Spirits,
what was that?
Spirits Direct.
Spirits Direct.
Yeah.
That's
You
their
said-
aggregator.
Is that like Total Wine's brand or something?
More or less, yes. The concept's the same. They get cheap liquor from various sources. Everything is suspect about it. They put good marketing on it. They put a pretty label on it, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So here's what happened. I was in Total Wine and I didn't know any of that. And I got some good stuff. I got some like Evan Williams. I got some other good stuff. And then I saw this 6-year bourbon for less than $30. So the price on their site is ambitious at best. This was less than $30. I was like, why not? It's 6 years. I've never heard of this brand. Let me go ahead and try it. Joke's on me, right? Because I thought, single barrel, 6 years, that might be quality. Now that I'm looking at it, like actually the labels are kind of on crooked. It's a little sus. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's a little suspicious. At the time, I didn't notice how jankety it looked. So, I've been drinking this, and it's fine. It's fine. It's bourbon. When you on the nose, it's kind of like a malty, but it's kind of like a musky malt. It's malty, but if you left those malts in like a closet for a year.
With mothballs?
No, just like a little. It's like a malty, like haunted house.
Yeah.
And the bourbon's not bad. Bourbon's not bad. It's got a burn to it. It burns a little bit more than it should at 100 proof. It's semi-sweet. It's grainy. It's malty. But there is this off little something. Je ne sais quoi musk. It's like a good bourbon mixed in with like old socks. So
whoops.
Is this
I get it. I hear you.
Spice
No.
commercial?
I get it. Yeah.
I can't wait to have some old socks.
Clyde Mays is a don't buy. Nothing wrong with it, but they're clearly spending all their time on their label. And I think Total Wine did a great job suckering me in.
Yes.
But that's fine. Impulse buy, it's drinkable, right?
Yeah.
It's not like when we bought like a gallon of Rebel Yell, right? So
No. It wasn't as bad.
Just one quick comment, like whenever Steve doesn't like bourbon, it's almost always full, right? But when he likes a bourbon, it comes to the office with like 2 shots remaining in the bottle.
So this one's mostly full. And if you go back to prior episodes, you'll see like the Bamora from Garrison Brothers, or like anything from Evan Williams. I've got like 1 shot left. It's like, all right, I got just barely enough to try it.
Story number 3 is regarding the NFT giant OpenSea, which reported a major email data breach.
Shocking.
So a staff member at customer.io, an email vendor contracted by OpenSea, misused their employee access to download and share email addresses of OpenSea's users and newsletter subscribers with an unauthorized external party. The world's largest NFT marketplace said on Wednesday night, if you ever shared your email with OpenSea, you should assume you were impacted. So what do you have to say about this story, and what do you have to say about the response?
We'll let Shu go first because obvious.
This is how crypto exchanges are targeted. This is classic. It's third party. The OpenSea had, they themselves were not breached. It was through a third party vendor. But when ransomware gang, when actually thieves just in general target exchanges, anything with crypto, they will take the customer list and they will sort by account size, and they go from top to bottom down. So when you have individuals like this being named, yeah, you bet they are. This is how they select phishing victims. This is how they select SIM swapping victims. So if you're on this, be careful.
So Shu, are you saying it's all about ability to pay?
Yeah, basically it's your account size.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they'll go over the big whales first and then just work their way down.
I find it shocking that anything having to do with NFT,
Yeah.
especially an NFT platform that went from being worth nothing to being worth what, billions?
18 billion.
Overnight,
18 billion.
18 billion. I find it shocking that they would have this type of attention from hackers.
Well, when you start attracting that much stupid money,
Mhm.
you know you're doomed. I mean, it's like,
Or these are the new world billionaires in making, because they bought, how many monkeys did you buy, Shu? How many of the drunk monkeys, or what are they called?
Oh, Bored Ape.
Bored apes. There you go.
bored apes.
Bored
That's
apes.
me. What are you talking?
You own an NFT, Shu. I know you do.
I've noticed NFTs coming soon. Mike.
Do you not own an NFT, Shu?
No, honestly, I don't own any.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Now,
well,
crypto, let's
I think
not
I'm
talk about
gonna
that.
release a series of drunk monkeys. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Hack Notice, BNB sponsored. I could have sworn you're totally into the NFT thing. Dockers, NFTs, like,
I think it was
Pokemon Go.
Mike.
GameStop.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
GameStop,
Well,
AMC,
something like that,
NFTs.
Yeah, AMC, GameStop, I've lost so much money on that.
Obviously, duh.
But those are legitimate securities, not like NFTs, man.
So-called.
Yeah.
Wow. Please don't dox the rest of us, Bored Apes.
I just wanted to relate this story to something that Shu, you shared earlier, and the missing crypto queen. FBI adds Ruja Ignatova to top 10 most wanted. And you know what's kind of crazy is that the FBI is offering $100,000 like bounty.
Mhm.
Like you said, if you reached out to her personally
Well-
and you saw her, she would probably pay her more.
She stole 100 million.
Yeah.
Right. So if the bounty is
1%.
1%,
Yeah.
yeah,
Who gives
No.
a shit?
not even one,
No,
Does
it's
that
a point.
be a
one.
million.
Point one?
A tenth of a
Hard
percent.
right
A tenth of a
Math is
percent.
hard right now. But, okay,
And that's at current prices. When Bitcoin goes back up,
Yeah.
it's even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one coin or something. So I mean, like, how does this kind of relate with the whole employee leaking the email data?
Well, so crypto is entirely online and very stealable, right? Like, whenever you hear about the benefits of crypto, which there are many, they never mention that all of your stuff can be stolen, and you can never get it back, right? Like, if you steal my credit card, the credit card company will actually reimburse me. Same thing with my bank account, right? But if you steal my crypto, well, the blockchain is the blockchain, and you're just kind of screwed. So that's why NFTs and Bitcoin and wallets are always targeted by criminals, because they know if they can grab your wallet, they can take all of it, right? Often they can take all of it without any company or government caring, right? It's entirely on you. So there's no protections, and you have someone here that stole 100 million, and she stole it through a pump and dump. So she committed a little light fraud and she got 100 million, and now she's on the run. but the FBI is like, well, you know, if you have information about this lady that has like 100 million in untraceable funds, we'll pay you like a fraction of that.
100 grand, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's, well, not hilarious. This is very
bad.
this is very bad.
It's a
But-
tragic event.
These are tragic events, and you know, you look at this, and every heist that we've seen involved with crypto and exchanges, they're like 100 million, 600 million. They're hundreds of millions of dollars get stolen all the time, and my theory is they're stealing from each other because these are enormous amounts of money. And what the largest real heist of money, of real actual money, was like 100 some odd million in London many years ago. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. They're just like stealing crypto from each other is basically what's happening.
I don't know. I wouldn't say they're stealing money from each other. I invested in, this was in 2018, in an altcoin that was not a fake coin. It was just a coin that did well, and then it did poorly, right? It had a critical mass, and then people left it. Like it wasn't one of the coins that took off. And the dev team is still trying. They're doing a new coin, and they're doing an airdrop, and it was a privacy coin, so I cared about privacy. But you know, I think that it's very hard to tell the difference between a pump and dump fake coin and something that's real and could be worth something. You know, I think there's still a problem in crypto where privacy is not your number one built-in capability. Bitcoin is not private. Ethereum is not private. Monero, it is private, but it's not as private as Zero Coin or PivX or or a lot of the other coins. And so, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with crypto. Is it all going to bust, or are certain coins going to make it big? And I think that's very attractive to the retail investor. But I think that ultimately it's the retail investor that gets hurt by these pump and dump schemes.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, like Dogecoin got famous, and it's like a real thing.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? You know?
It was a joke.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk liked the joke a lot, and now it's actually worth something, which is interesting.
Yeah. Number 4, gotta say creative name, because like there's Random House, but Ransom House extortion group claims AMD as its latest victim. AMD is investigating a potential data breach after Ransom House, a new data cybercrime operation, claims to have extorted data from the US chipmaker. Given the nature of like the chip shortage and everything, what do you think about the story? Like, isn't this going to slow them down even more?
I do like the name. Like there's Random House, Ransom House. I personally get those two confused.
I do too. And S and D are next to each other.
Well, what's interesting is they came out of nowhere, allegedly. And one of their first victims is AMD. So we all know this is an existing gang, right? This is either ReEvil or a splinter cell of Conti or a splinter cell of Lockbit, right? And AMD is a huge get, right? Like they're a major company. I bet they take security very seriously. So I think Ransom House is a name you're going to hear a lot of, and I don't think this will be the last time we hear about it.
Yeah, Ransom House. I get them confused with the great band Ice House, which was awesome. One of the best '80s bands ever.
Okay.
You know Divya?
In the 80s. In the 80s, there's a band named Ice House.
Ice House.
Great.
Who
Great
bring it. This episode sponsored by Ice House.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing joy.
Electric Blue. So such a good song. But they claim they're like a brand new brand new gang. They're a few months old. They are relatively new, but they come with AMD, but they have been active before. They've attacked governments. They've attacked credit unions. So they got to know what they're doing here. And you're right. I would not be surprised, since their victims have been such in such various varied sectors. We're not going to hear the last of them.
So
But,
just want to
hey,
point out, it said that like the data leak, or like, that they were able to access AMD because of a weak and bad password. And this is AMD. Like, it's not like, this isn't news to them. This has obviously been an ongoing problem.
Well, everyone that has that doesn't have a security culture has employees that have weak and bad passwords.
Mhm.
So that's a very common problem.
Mhm. Paul, you were saying?
I was just going to say that their commentary on this was, oh, no, we're not here to attack. We're just here to help remediate between the victims and the others. And we're just here to help be a mediator.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's that about?
So some ransomware gangs do this. Some ransomware gangs say, we are not criminals. We are security penetration testers for hire. We just find your vulnerabilities and we set the price you pay us.
Right, we mediate. We're just a mediator, right?
So they're like, you should be glad we found this vulnerability and we're charging you a ransom, because there could have been somebody worse who did something even worse.
Yes, and a lot of these sites, more than one, their shaming sites call it the client areas.
They are clients. They're
clients.
clients of their involuntary penetration test.
Oh my God. Involuntary penetration. Oh my God.
Involuntary penetration. Yes.
There you go. Now we're
Oh,
talking.
shoot.
When you say it
Sure.
like
There
that,
are
Don't
words.
say it like that.
No, there are words. There are words for this that we cannot say on this broadcast, right?
I think that was
thanks
the,
a lot.
I think that was the
Paul.
cold open and everyone left.
Oh God.
Last comment is, I think we're going to learn more about them, and I would not be surprised if their leading gang members came from ReEvil, Lockbit, Conti. Like they came from somewhere. These are known people. They just have a new name.
Mhm. Last story of the evening, everyone. California gun data breach exposes personal info linked to 10 years of concealed carry permits. So my first thought was that with the whole stuff going with like the SCOTUS and everything, and this breach coming out, what do you have to say about it? Because,
So
A lot to unpack here.
in 3 minutes, a lot to unpack. What I would say is hacktivism is alive and well. If you don't think this was politically motivated, it is. And I find the timing interesting.
I will say also that a lot of anti-gun control activists, one of their arguments against a gun registry is specifically this: you are taking people that own firearms, you put them in a database. What if the database gets leaked and stolen? Well, this is exactly what happened.
Although from a safety standpoint, I feel like if you had a list of people who owned firearms and you're a criminal, you'd probably avoid those people.
Well, it's funny because actually in Australia, there was a rash of long arms thefts right after they created their gun registry. I'm not sure if it was ever proved, but the theory was that someone got into that database and was targeting specifically long guns.
Theft, yes. Home invasions, no.
Right.
So I think that this story is especially relevant given how, we didn't talk about it, but given how a teenager on TikTok doxed the home addresses of all the Supreme Court justices, or all the ones that voted in the affirmative opinion on Roe v. Wade. So, you're going to see hacking as a political tactic. Whether that's legal or not is not something we can comment on, but you're going to see doxing and hacking as a form of political statement. This will not go away. And the line's going to get really blurry, right? Like if I invade someone's privacy by recording them in a shopping mall or something, you know, or if I dox their home address or dox their phone number, like what is it exactly from a legal standpoint? We don't know, but you're going to see a lot of it, you know, probably in the next few months, given the controversial rulings that have been coming out of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
I have one question. So towards the end, this article says that here's what people should be doing if you're affected by the disclosure, which I was kind of confused about. But it's like monitor your credit, put a credit freeze on your credit report, place a fraud alert on your credit report.
Yeah.
Are these relevant? And if so,
No.
is there something
No.
more to do?
No.
That's what I was saying.
So okay.
Total bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's what I
a
thought.
quick plug for Hack Notice. One of the things that we do is we actually provide people with free resources to protect themselves online. You can get free credit monitoring. You can get free identity theft. You can freeze your credit. You can do all of this today for free. If you don't know where to go, you can just sign up for an account with us and we'll give you the resources directly and what we call our recommended recovery. So there's a lot everyone can do to protect themselves online. A lot of people don't know how to do it, and so we help guide them. So yeah, like that list is bullshit. But yeah, I would say if someone releases your home address, right, your first concern should be physical safety, right? Get a camera and put it in a very obvious place. Your next concern should be fraud, and you should absolutely freeze your credit, get credit ID theft monitoring, all of which is free, by the way. Don't let people talk you into, you know, a paid service. As a consumer, you have rights and you can do things today that are free to protect yourself.
Yeah, that list was basically sound like every other company that is trying to mitigate any lawsuits coming out from a data leak.
I learned about this just a few days ago. We're not associated with them at all, but turns out that TransUnion came out with a free identity theft protection. It's called True Identity. And as far as I know, it's the first completely free ID theft protection. They're going to try to sell you on some stuff, but you can get a base package for free. So, you know, if you're a victim of this, like go at least get a free ID theft protection because your information's out there and someone's going to try to use it to like get, you know, I don't know, a whole bunch of Starbucks gift cards or something. This has been an episode of Bourbon and Data Breaches. If you liked everything you saw today, Divya did a great job editing. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.